I was raised in that, but I didn't really believe in it like that.
And so how did you come to finally take Shahada and become Muslim?
Well, alhamdulillah, we went to, at that time, it was a place called Clara Muhammad School, and that's where I took my Shahada at about 25 years ago.
Right.
And then as Islamic information became more prevalent, then we started studying a little more and learning a little bit more about Islam. And then even in the city of Philadelphia, Islam started being a place where Islam started spreading, and a lot of people started taking Shahada, and the dawah started moving and moving and moving up until the day where we're standing at right now in Germantown. When you look at the buildings that are in front of you, originally these was two dilapidated buildings.
You mean the Masjid buildings?
The Masjid, two buildings that are standing in front of you. One was burnt down and one was falling down. And they were actually buildings that were the worstest looking buildings on this block, and they felt as though they should have been torn down at that time. But at that time, we just wanted the opportunity to be able to get in those buildings and spread some Islam and be able to start something with. There was a brother across the street by the name of Samir that has the barber shop directly across the street, right here in front of me where the masjid is. He used to come in a burnt down building and teach people, and he would give a ta'aleem service in that building on Sunday because he was giving ta'aleem in his house, and he'd outgrown that place at that time.
Right.
And they used to go in this building, which was bought by the Muslims at that time for $1.
For $1.
And the other one was bought for about $5,000. But now, alhamdulillah, both of them are worth about $150,000 a piece.
Right. So tell me a bit about the community here and the size of the community, and even your masjid and the future of this masjid.
Well, when we first started, we had about 10 people in this masjid. And in this community, it was sort of a little rough area because a lot of things went on as far as...
Is it still a rough area now?
Well, it's still a rough area, but alhamdulillah, Islam has changed the area a whole lot.
And explain that. What do you mean Islam has changed the area a whole lot?
Meaning that even when you talk to the people that are not Muslim, the kuffar that live in this area, they would tell you since the Muslims' presence and the Muslims frequent and praying 5 times a day, and the adhan being called and heard 5 times a day.
Well, let me stop you. So you mean here in this place you make the adhan out loud?
Yes.
MashaAllah.
We make the adhan out loud outside 5 times a day.
Do you ever get any feedback from the neighbors about the adhan being out loud, or does everybody have no problem with that?
Well, basically, if you look around, you'll see that to the right of us, to the left of us, is churches everywhere. And if you see right there, they have church bells that go off all the time. And no one complains about that. And even when people did complain, that was what we used to diffuse their gripes in reference to just the adhan being called. But after a period of time, they sort of got used to it. And also they've sort of accepted it because they've looked at the benefit that they've seen from the Muslims in this area and the Muslims' presence. Because one of the things that we did when we first started this community was we weren't just looking for a place to have a musalla or a prayer area. We were looking for a place to develop a community, meaning a place to develop a community, meaning where the Muslims can live close proximity to each other, where the Muslims' children can be raised together, where the Muslims can start establishing Muslim businesses. If you look throughout this community today, at one time 10 years ago, it was nowhere near the businesses that you see that are coming to the area now. And alhamdulillah, the Muslims were in the lead in the forefront of that movement as far as establishing businesses and bringing life back to this area.
And what about the community? What's the size of the community here? And is this building now enough for your community?
Actually, what's happened is right now we're at our full capacity. We've outgrown